Second Street Landing in San Pedro, California. This is the Danny Kadota Show. Danny, how are you, my friend?
Philip, great.
It's good to see you.
Yeah. Happy Mother's Day.
What'd you do for Mother's Day? Anything fun?
We did. We went over to a daughter's place, and you know, it's more friendly for all the little kids, the grandkids, and then they got the pool, one of those big trampolines.
Yeah.
You know, with the cage around it and everything else, so they could bounce their hearts out. So it was perfect.
Yeah,
They didn't do anything except make a little food and take it over there.
Shoot, that sounds great.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
I took Ruth on Friday. We did our thing, so we went to dinner, and then before that we went to the, what do you call it, the perfume district in LA.
Oh, yeah.
And so she could get some, yeah. And it's quite a bit less expensive there. Let's put it that way.
It used to be even cheaper.
Yeah.
They've escalated. We used to go down there.
Yeah. So she got her perfume, and that was good. And then
Awesome.
Philip, my son Philip, did his day on Saturday because Jessica, his wife, had to work Sunday. She's a sheriff. And so Sunday, on Mother's Day, I went over with Philip because he had the grandson and spent 6 hours entertaining the grandkid, jumping up and down and fooling around, and had a really good time. Hope you all did too. I know that Albert Ponce and his lovely wife, Crystal, they were going to have a party at home, and they said, you know what, let's jump on the Thunderbird and go to San Clemente Island. So they ended up doing that and having a great time. Crystal caught a big halibut. I mean, good stuff.
That's awesome.
No question about it. Live Free, Die Free says, good evening, gentlemen. To which we say, thank you so much for being here. Man, I tell you, I got some hate mail over what you said about the lifeguards last week.
Good.
That whole thing, once again, and I know it'll drive Sam De La Torre up a tree. Sam said he thought we were insensitive about the lifeguards because Sam cried. Somebody stepped on a kelp fly once, and Sam broke into tears. So, horrible thing.
I'm not going to tell him. I won't tell him to
Please,
grow up here.
yeah,
Don't.
I won't. But it was about these sea lions and the domoic poisoning, and nobody no one's jumping up for joy to see it, but to have to go see a counselor or take a day off, that's pushing it, in my opinion.
Wow. Yeah. That's it'd be tough. I don't think you'd make a skipper on a boat. And Healy's.
Anyway, I only had one where somebody sent me a message that said, you have no feelings. You've got ice cold water running through your veins if you can't shed a tear for a blue perch that washed up dead on the beach. So, whoa. All right, Quintine Trachia says, good afternoon, fishing family. Good to see you here. We're going to cover some of the latest that's going on with the bluefin tuna. And Danny, the white sea bass bite in the Channel Islands is phenomenal right now. It can't get much better.
That's right. Boy, we were at my daughter's house yesterday, but my son came in from Orange County, Corey, and he said, hey, let's go sneak up there. So I said, okay, talk to the warden. No, but I mean, it's that
The
good.
warden's been letting you fish for your whole life.
She has. She's
Yeah.
a doll. I would never trade the warden for anything. Yeah, she's awesome.
It's been phenomenal fishing up there.
Yeah.
It's been full speed. And, mixed in with it is just some tremendous halibut fishing.
I've seen some of the pictures.
Yeah.
Oh boy, there's some flatty. Oh man, hogs.
I know. It's amazing stuff. And the Pride,
Barn doors.
he's docked right outside here. Michael Potvin runs the boat. I've known Sonar for, I don't know. Sonar, how many years have I known you for, man? 25, something like that. I think Philip and him were pinheads together down in Marina del Rey or Redondo. I think it was Redondo. And they had a tremendous trip on the Pride. It was a day and a half trip. They came back with 17 guys, 17 white sea bass, 21 halibut. Ooh. They had all the big rockfish you could possibly want right here out of 22nd Street Landing.
Wow.
They even had a couple of black cod, a couple of sablefish.
Man, you talk about some fine eating there.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
You talking about the sablefish?
The sable. Think about all of them. The white sea bass, the halibut.
Oh, my God.
And the sable. Oh, that's icing on the cake there.
Yeah, for sure. Eric Wood, afternoon, guys from Eastern Arizona. Eric, thank you so much for joining us. Arizona, tuning in here.
Awesome.
540 Slingers, that is a good guy. Jeff Yeomans. Jeff, great to see you. Thank you for your service. He says, hello, Phil and Danny. Once again, we got to get together one of these days. Robert Graber. We'll be seeing Robert up there in the Channel Islands pretty soon. Good afternoon, Phil, Danny, and the Friedman Adventures fanatics. Happy Danny Kadota Show Monday. I love that, man.
I love it.
I love it.
Get our
Danny,
week started.
you should come up and fish with us in the 805 on the 30th. You want to come up there? You're invited, Danny.
I'll have to put that in there. Yeah, because we're going to be out of school.
We got to mess
And
with.
I've got a pretty heavy schedule going in June.
Let's mess with Paulina, all together here, man. For sure. We're going to get back to that trip on the Pride. I want to talk a little bit more about it. But, Chris Rank from Colder Ice, the product, remember he came out?
Right.
Colder Ice, great product, everybody. Fantastic product. I mean, the dog here loves Colder Ice more than anything in this world. I love the dog. He was on the trip. And Joe Welker, your garage door man. Joe was on there. So those guys had a really good time. Speaking of good guys, oh no, it's Chuck Zimmer. I thought it was a good guy. Chuck Zimmer from the Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club. Chuck's absolutely awesome. Danny, have seen white sea bass fishing this good in the past? Second question, were you guys using jigs for the white sea bass back in the day? So Chuck says, have you seen sea bass fishing as good as it is right now? And did you use jigs in the past for the sea bass?
You know what? It was so rare to get those bites. So we usually was the live squid.
Yeah.
And I can remember literally having guys almost make one cast and they were done. And that was no joke. And I can remember doing that when we took the LA Kings.
Yeah.
We went out and Russo had that speedboat that's going 60 miles an hour at night and you can't see anything. He's flying at 60 and we're pounding away. And we had Dead Marsh and Felix Potvin and Pete. Thank God we had a trainer in case we got hurt. But we banged over there. And the thing is, because he's running at night, I let Joe run the boat over and he's going like 50-something, 60, we're flying, right? We get to the island. I'm going to end up running the boat. So he pulled it back. I grabbed the wheel and I go, okay, get the anchor ready. We look, anchor's gone. Sheared it off. That's how much we were banging, right?
Was this guy involved in this situation?
No, unfortunately it wasn't. But we went around the corner, the west end, and all I see is just lights, solid lights going down, and mostly all sport boats. And as we start idling in there, everybody's bendo. And I'm going, oh my God, I can't. They know me. I can't go in there and run right in there. So we waited. We drifted into a kelp, just sat on the edge. And Peterson was still running the boat. When Peterson limited out, and he pulled out, and we pulled up a little further right behind him. We all made one cast and we were done. So when it's on, it's stupid.
Yeah,
it's
it is.
Absolutely stupid. Yeah.
I remember fishing jigs a lot back in the day. In fact, you could take, 40 pound, 60 pound, put a jig on it, drop it down to the bottom, and then just put it in the rod holder. And they fish good when the boat's rocking, man. You just sit there, drink your coffee, and all of a sudden you see it loads up, man. You walk over there, and you're on. That's a really fun way
Unbelievable.
to catch those things.
Phil, when we took those guys, it was right after they had the Stanley Cup. Felix Potvin, remember the goalie?
Oh, yeah.
Adam Deadmarsh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And like I said, we made the one cast, but the beating we took, here's Deadmarsh, who's just a superior hitter. Ice. He says, that was one of the worst beatings they took. He says, unbelievable.
Worse than an NHL fight.
Yeah.
Huh?
So, they hang in there. But, going 60 miles an hour in the dark is a little scary for me, too.
Man, you guys, the one thing you missed on that trip, Danny, I would have so much loved to have seen somebody take a scoop of live squid right out of the Stanley Cup. I think that black ink, though, that might have gotten somebody a little bit upset.
Yeah.
Next time they skate the cup around the rink after the... Yeah, that's great, man. What a fun time. Hockey players are some of the most down-to-earth,
they're
super
great
guys.
Great guys.
Some other athletes and other sports, I'm not going to get into it, can be a little not as down to earth. And hockey players are super damn.
We've been pretty blessed being around the right guys.
Yeah.
The Brian Shaws.
Brian's
and guys
great,
like that,
man.
yeah.
You can't find a more down to earth guy.
No, they're awesome.
Yeah, there was another
Absolutely
guy
awesome.
played for the Lakers. Who was that? God, I can't remember his name right now. Big, tall, like center, power forward, and super good guy. Really good guy. God darn it, why can't I remember his name? But I know my kids, we got to be friends, and then we went over and picked him up with his kids and went to Santa Ana River Lakes and rented a pontoon boat and had so much fun. It was really,
That's
really
fun
good.
stuff. Yep.
Super good guy. I'll remember his name in about 2 years. Just give me a little time. Brian Grant. How did you know that? Because you've heard me tell this story before?
Because Mackie just posted it.
Oh, Mackie. Mackie. I love you, Mackie. I've got all these backup memories. Yeah, Brian Grant. Good guy, man.
Oh, that's
In
cool.
fact, back in my drinking days, we were on board the boat with Rick, who runs the Oceanside 95. And we took the whole Laker team, including Kobe Bryant, on a tuna trip. And Brian and I got into the tequila on the way out. We're hooting and hollering and got a little out of control there. Brian, calm down. He thought I was one of the Laker girls for a second. You know, I said, get your hands off me. Just kidding.
very good.
David Betroy. Hello, Phil. Danny, Phil, maybe I missed it. No, David, you didn't. He wants to know our Albacore prediction. Let's do it right now. I'll say yes. David, at this point, how can I say no? I think if I said
I'm
no.
saying yes, too.
I think if I said no, they would probably show up and just to screw me.
That's right. So
But I'm going yes, and part of the reason, David, why I'm going yes, and let's define this, over 500 Albacore, Southern California landings this year. The reason I'm saying yes is because our Albacore expert, Bob Osborne, who just really digs into all the stats for the past 3 or 4 years, has said absolutely. And this year, he said, I don't think so.
Oh,
So,
that'll do it.
it's
That's
a slam dunk.
It's a slam dunk.
Right?
Well, you know, there's been a fair amount of chovies.
Yeah.
You know,
Water's cool.
Water's cool. I mean, and it's right here. I mean, it could be very close.
Yeah.
Like that one year when they came in the channel there. You know, and those were the jumbos.
Yes.
You know, but yeah. So you know what? Hey, we've been calling it a wrong way. What do we got to lose?
Yeah, exactly. We're going for it.
We're
There you
going
go.
for it.
David, over 500 Albacore at San Diego, LA, Orange County-based landings. We'll cut it right there because then if it gets up to Morro Bay, we'll call that another deal, I guess. All right, Justin B says, what's up, guys? Hey, Justin, thanks for being here. Manila Ice Cream, who keeps winning all the raffle prizes we have. He won a rod and reel down at our surf fishing event on Saturday. Great to see you, Jason. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being there on Saturday. Great spending time with you as always. And here he is, Chris Rank, Colder Ice. Hello, Mr. Kadota and Mr. Friedman and Scott. He recognizes
Scott, oh, yeah.
which is very nice. I have a banner for the wall. Also, yes, the Pride trip was epic with Anthony at Fish Hard Clothing Private Charter. Yeah, I didn't mention that before. I'm glad you mentioned that. Chris, it sounded like such a great trip. I had some video of your garage doorman catching a fish, so that was super good. It was good to see Joe. Really great fishing, man. How can it get any better?
That's awesome. Man, it's segueing right into a full-on summer, too.
Yeah.
The way things are going, you know.
I don't think the sea bass bite is hit its stride yet. I bet it's going to get better.
Probably not. And I mean, you know, you got the bluefin going on, and some of that's, you know, it's inside one day in a lot of in those areas down below out of Dago, and you know, it's just going to be fun. Where I think we go get your one tuna, and then you go mess around.
Yes.
Find other stuff. Go hit the banks and whatnot. You know, but yeah, we just sure shaping up.
Yeah, 100%.
Unbelievable.
Mackie, thank you again for the Brian Grant tip, man. Mackie will be here on Thursday on the Monte Carlo, it sounds like, fishing with Dan Lightfoot and some other knuckleheads like Anthony from Friedman Adventures. Anthony's going to be shooting a video out there, so if you're thinking about a trip on the Monte Carlo this Thursday, could be a really great day to be there because all the Friedman Adventures guys will be there. I unfortunately will not be there, but I'm not the most important person. All these other knuckleheads will be there. To tell you about our trip to Ensenada. I'll tell you a little bit about that also here in a second. Awesome. I know Paulina's ready to kill me here. All right, is it IFHAC? What am I missing there? Is that an acronym that I should? IFHAC with Braggs. Love seeing the CCA poster behind us there. Thank you so much. Of course, we support everything those guys do. He says, good afternoon from Carlsbad. Welcome, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. Jeff Yeoman is heading out on the Amigo this Friday night if the weather allows. I know, Jeff, it's a little breezy down here right now, Danny. And the San Diego fleet, they're pretty much in the docks yesterday. I don't think they're going to get out tonight. I think they'll be out the next night. Maybe they'll get somebody to poke their nose out there. But it's kind of windy, rough weather. And that's not a big surprise in the spring. It happens a lot, right?
Well, the big Cadillacs can handle it.
They can.
Just go up and down a little bit, you know.
Yeah, certainly on the American Angler last year, you had some awful weather
when we took
and some great fishing.
We rocked and rolled, and we nailed them, though.
Yeah.
It was worth every bit of it. But, yeah, we took them over the rail while we were stopped and fishing.
Oh, my God.
Well, we were broadside, right? And those things curled over, and I'm just looking down, and we're all pinned on 100-pound. You're not going anywhere, and we got soaked.
You get your boot full?
Oh, we got soaked, yeah. Yeah, it was, all of us, you can't run. You got a fish on. You know?
Right. What are you going to do, right?
Yeah, unbelievable.
That was a great trip, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Do you mind rough weather? I mean, when you were younger, it was a lot easier. I mean,
it was easier.
Well, I don't know if it was. Yeah, I guess it was easier.
I'm getting soft. You know, I
when
like
you're younger, you don't care. In fact, sometimes you like the challenge of the rough weather. But now it's like, come on, man. Look, I want some flat, calm, sunny, warm seas here.
Yep. That's what we take. That's what we order. But you know,
I know. Sometimes the big guy upstairs is not listening.
He says exactly. That's not the way you're having it, boys.
Yeah, I know. When I was up in the wheelhouse of the Independence on our 5-day trip, one of the nights it turned kind of snotty, and I was up there with Brian, and we're just like, he's trying to find fish, and I'm editing video on my phone, but I'm going like this, and he looks over at me and he goes, this isn't what we ordered, is it? And I go, no, this sucks. And, we're just rocking and rocking. Then he looks at me and he goes, it's about 10 at night, which is past my bedtime. And he goes, you really should go to bed. And I go, why? And he goes, because we're not going to catch spit tonight. And I said, really? You just say that one more time, and I'm out of here. And he said it, and I was gone, man, right down to my stateroom. But, sometimes I know when I was younger, I kind of looked at it as kind of a macho. Like, yeah, sure, I can take this weather. Now I just want to, come on, give me a break here. All right, let's see. Emmanuel Navedo, all the way from Florida. Emmanuel, it's always great to have you with us. Hope you guys are having a blessed day. Bendiciones to you also, my friend. I have HAC with Braggs. I fish, hunt, and cook. There it is. It's an acronym for that. Oh. Perfect. Any chance you guys will be at the CCA Cal Apps and Taps this Saturday in San Diego? I don't think I can make it. I have something I'm doing with my kids. And then what are we doing? We're not doing anything else, I don't think.
Thursday, Friday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Ooh.
Saturday, I'm all tied up. But, man, we would love to make that at some time in the future, my friend. Thank you for thinking of us. Chuck Zimmer, our club trip on the Pride is this Friday. Fingers crossed. Chuck, you couldn't have hit it any better. I bet you like that. We had them all over the morning briefing and put a short up, man, to fire the troops up because they had a phenomenal trip, as we've already said. Jolene Thompson, I don't know if you know Jolene.
Yeah.
She's a sweetheart.
Yes.
She's going fishing with us this Friday on the El Patron. Can't wait for that. She is number one. I sure hope those silly bluefin tuna are hungry on my 2-day charter on the Pacific Voyager that leaves Saturday, May the 31st. Out of Seaforth, I have 3 open spots to fill. Captain Max will find them. Jolene, we are so impressed with Max. He is a young guy who really works hard at it. We went in and shot some video with him, Danny, before we went across the border. He's so knowledgeable. He's so personable. That should be a great trip with Jolene, no question about it. And you can send her a private message here on Facebook, Jolene Thompson. Jolene, if you want to put your phone number in the chat, I don't know if it allows you to do that on YouTube. I can't access your number right now, but if you want to do that, I'll read it off to everybody, or just try to send her a private message if you'd like to scoop up one of those last trips, one of those last spots, because you'll have a great time with Max, no doubt about that. All right, may the fish gods be with you, Jolene Charles and 540 Slingers. This guy, I love this guy, man. Positive, really good guy. Looks like there is a lot of bluefin tuna on the backside of San Clemente Island. Hopefully they start biting. Well, that is true. I mean, what I'm hearing is there is so much fish that it's ridiculous. It's been off the bite during this moon phase, Danny.
No.
And now we have the weather, and you may lose track of it for a little while, but now we're getting enough coverage.
I think
and the boys are pretty damn good at what they do.
I think there's enough volume,
Yeah.
you know, and they probably, I mean, I'm sure you can scratch them at tenor, quartet, back behind Clemente.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
They, you know what? I had a friend that used to tell me this. I used to think he was really facetious, and you'd go, "Hey, where are they?" He goes, "They are where you find them." And I go, "What a smart outlook."
Yeah.
You want to go, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's true. It really is true. You just don't know. They're wherever you have. Fortunately, we do have a lot of intel between the code groups and guys going around.
Oh, yeah.
Working with, so you've got pretty good odds these days. Folks.
You got planes.
Yep.
Yeah, you got all
Yep.
that. When we were
Absolutely.
down there on the Independence, the Mexican seiner that was there, their helicopters were there. They were talking to us, and they're saying, "Hey, you got a spot about 100 yards off your starboard bow." And then you go run over there and maybe get a bite, maybe not. And then, hey, you got another one over here off your port bow. It was really cool.
Yeah, that is neat. Well, they're probably jugged.
Yeah.
But they also know that a lot of times, you reciprocate.
Yes.
If they're going to help you, we'll help them. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just the way it should be.
And it was smaller schools where they're
yeah,
not going to set
yeah.
on that
Right,
anyway, waste their
right,
time with
right,
that. So
right.
it was really cool. 2 helicopters and a
That's
plane
cool.
they
That
had
is
up,
cool.
and really good stuff. It's nice to see all of those guys cooperating with one another.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that helps.
Good stuff. Yeah, totally agree with you. There is a ton of fish. Isaac says, "Good afternoon, gentlemen." Who came in?
Gentlemen.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah. A gentleman right here. Scott Butchert. Where is Scott? Patrick Hornjack. Patrick, good to see you, my friend, from Utah. Says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Kadota and Phil. Hope all is well." Patrick, that was one nice 100+ pound bluefin you had earlier this year. Really happy you were able to do it. He said he was listening to our show
Oh, wow.
and got inspired
And
to go.
you're in Utah?
Yeah, he flew
my
in
God.
and went and
That's
caught a
awesome.
100+ pounder. I believe on the legend. Patrick, correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, 100%. It's nice, man. We get everybody all fired up.
Absolutely.
But-
But I love fishing in Utah. My cousins live,
Oh, yeah?
half an hour away. You shoot up in the mountains.
Where's a good place to fish? There?
You can fish. Strawberry. Well, Strawberry. That's the lake. But I mean, right in Salt Lake City, there's some lakes that are just real close along the foothills, around the ski resorts. and
Anthony
everything.
obviously knows
Yeah,
Utah pretty
Altas,
well.
Yeah.
He
Park
fishes
City.
with strawberries, he said. Never done that before. You'll catch a Scott
Yeah.
Bucher. Yes, I figured that out. Scott Bucher likes strawberries. You might catch him with that.
My God, I will warn you this. Okay, so I go with my cousin. He's a guide, so he's probably one of the top fishermen in Utah. So we pull up to this one lake, and as we get out, he says, "Well, we're going to that point over there." Well, very untypical of me. I start running to beat everybody there to get to the spot. So I run over there, get over there. Sure enough, man, I start whacking them right away. Not knowing, and this is being a Boy Scout, not knowing that what I ran through was poison oak.
Oh, God.
We got back to LA, and I mean, what a mess. All these, it was nasty. I mean, it was all I don't know if you've ever seen them, but they get like a head of oil.
Oh.
And it's just, they're nasty looking and everything else.
That's brutal.
And that was because I had to be the smart aleck and go, okay, I got the first fish. I got my payback.
Came back to bite you, huh?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm going to get a payback from Paulina, my Mexican co-host down there.
Yeah.
I was behind her tapping her rod. She's going, oh, and she's trying to set the hook. And I got her like 100 times, and I never said anything to her on the trip, but I just posted the video. You know, and she caught a big calico bass, but I haven't really heard. I know she's mad at me.
I saw some of the clips.
Yeah, she's probably mad. I hope she's not watching. I don't see her on there. Paulina, it was a joke.
Yeah.
Don't get mad at me, please. I'm old. That time you hit me down in Mexico, you're lucky I can't see you in Mexico.
You almost broke your rib, so you got your own.
That's right. Yeah, I did. That kind of was my payback. Was that after I did that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you see?
Hey, so she's catching a cow. I didn't think of. You're absolutely 100% right. Man,
back.
karma came back to get me. I tapped her rod. Anybody goes on Friedman Adventures, you'll see that whole thing. And then when I went to film her catching a fish, we got broadsided by a wave. It knocked me into this steel rail where I hit my ribs really hard. And as I hit them, I go, oh my God, I hope they're not broken. And then I went hard on my back down on the deck, laying there like a turtle that can't get up. And he grabbed me and pulled me up.
Did you film it?
No.
You should have filmed it.
No.
Oh, man.
He
that
screwed
would have
that
gone
up.
viral.
He totally screwed that up. Yeah. He was too nice, trying to help me out. Just film it. And
You're laughing, and I'm like,
I was laughing.
Who bounced this thing?
there.
Yeah, who bounced this thing
still
flapping on
hurt.
the neck?
I'm still suffering from that. But you're right. That had to have been what it was, man. Paulina did get even with me already. So just lay off me here in the future. All right, let's see. Ace High. Anyone making it to Don Hansen Day? Don Hansen, of course, a huge figure in this beautiful sport of ours. Dana Point Harbor this weekend. Looks like a fun time in honor of the father of whale watching. Don did a lot for this business. Yeah. A lot, right?
Good guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to make it down there or not. My plans, I don't even know. I'd have to look at my schedule. My schedule's so crazy, but would love to hear a report from you if we don't make it down there. So Isaac says, Ethan and I head out this Friday on the Pacific Voyager. Hope we get them. Me too, Isaac. That fish is around. Chris Knott says, Albacore, question mark. Yes, Danny and I are both in. We say over 500 Albacore for San Diego and LA Orange County-based landings this year. Chris, what do you think? You think we got it this year finally? I think so. I think.
The
When's
water's cool enough. There's chovies.
it going to bite? June or July? Or later?
Could be later. I mean, that 1 year we had the real big fish. It was in the fall. But
late June, I'll go with 29th.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What do you say? Pick a date.
July 4th.
Oh, come on. The
Oh, June
traditional.
29th. Yeah, but that's what
okay.
it was. We
Traditional.
used to take the Mustang down to San Diego.
Right, man. That's All right, there you got it. Danny says July 4th. I say June 29th. Chris, take it to the bank. I don't know what the Vegas odds are on it, but jump all over it. Patrick Harnjack said he drove all the way down just because of the morning briefings. Patrick, thank you so much, my friend. And he was on the Pacific Queen, and those guys on the Queen are big fish hunters. Strawberry is the best lake around big old trout. Patrick Harnjack, making sure that we all know that this man right here, Anthony, knows his stuff. Very good.
There you go.
Jolene Thompson, I want to see you catch something, Phil. Danny, are you coming with us? If Scott can drive to Oceanside, he can ride to Long Beach with me. He's on the trip, Jolene, so I don't know how he usually takes the train to his parents. That's Costa Mesa. And then I don't know.
He can get off on Oceanside.
He's going to Uber to us we'll find out what he wants to do, Jolene. And if you give Scott a ride, guaranteed you'll go straight to heaven when that time comes. 4-hour automobile ride with Scott will get you a free ticket. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Hey, Chivo, I tried to call you back, my friend. Good afternoon. Got your message, Phil. Looking forward to Friday. Chivo, looking forward to fishing with you. Make sure, Chivo, you stay with us on the morning briefing in case anything changes. There's a big yellowtail bite there. I'll let you know on the morning briefing for sure if there's any changes. For now, I'd be ready with a lighter surface kind of rig, 20, 25 pound, and then something to fish deeper water cod. And I think you're going to be in really good shape. Chivo, can't wait to see you on Friday, bright and early. First 11, get a bunk on that boat. So make sure you're there early. And Anthony, you'll get to meet him. We'll be shooting the morning briefing as we're at the bait receiver, I'm guessing. And then we'll be shooting a video on the trip. That should be fun. We're going to Catalina Island on the El Patron.
Oh, cool.
Man, I
cool.
can't
That's
wait for
awesome.
that. The Pursuit had a couple of barracuda and a couple of yellowtail and a couple of halibut
I was going to say.
the other day. So slowly but surely, Danny.
Yep.
That barracuda showed up in Ensenada, bit for a couple days, and then got off the bite. You know, it's just in the spring, you
Yeah.
take a step forward, and then you kind of take one
Yeah,
back.
but you'll see that stuff all gravitating, coming this way. They'll be coming up here for the, for the summertime.
Oh, my God,
Yeah.
Chris, not. Man, you are so lucky because Danny Kadota has predicted it just for you. Chris says, yeah, baby, I haven't caught an albie in 30 years. I know how it is, man. Got a 2-day trip on the Pegasus. By the way, Sean Hardigan, Chris, lives with Scott Buchert. So you can ask him about him. Sean will be either your second captain or your captain. He's got a July the 4th, 2-day trip on the
And that
Pegasus.
used
Your
to be-
Albacore prediction.
That was the old traditional time. Yeah, I mean, that's why we went down that time of
yeah,
year from up
100%,
here.
right?
Yep.
Back in the day, you didn't have the satellite imaging and all
No.
that. You just go out to the wherever, you try to find some 63.5 water and throw some jigs back there and pray for a jig strike, right?
Yep. So you never know.
Could
Mother
happen,
Nature.
Chris. It could happen.
Water's conducive for
I'm
it.
telling you, man. Here we go. Patrick Harnjack again, our man from Utah. Do you think the bluefin will continue to grow larger out there around the island since it seems the fish are staying year-round? Do you honestly think there's any chance of a 400-pound bluefin or even 500 pounds? Danny?
I think there is a chance, but I don't know that we could land those.
I know.
There could be a chance. You hook something, you go, oh, what was that? A submarine out of San Diego? But that's probably what it would feel like. But there's enough feed and biomass out there. A lot of them don't have to surface. Obviously, if you see them roll around on the surface, it's a whole different story. But it could very well happen because there's been big ones, or
Oh, yeah.
big ones already, and they start.
Over 4 this
Yeah.
year already?
No.
But they start growing exponentially too when they get to a particular size.
Yeah, biggest one last year was 3-something, I think. I think Joe Martinez caught it. God fishes with us all the time. And what Danny's talking about, because I know a lot of you guys are thinking, well, wait, they catch 1,000-pounders in the East Coast all the time. They're in like 200 feet of water at the most. Sometimes they're shorter water than that.
Yeah.
Out here, you're in a frickin', there's no bottom. You're out.
Good luck.
So a 500-pounder decides to sound on you.
You're going to need
Try to
a
stop that
60-knot
baby.
reel. So, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, Patrick makes a good point, and that is that those fish are kind of hanging out here now, and you would surmise from that they're just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, right?
They have no need to go anywhere.
Yeah.
The biomass of feed on the islands, not islands, but the banks, between the squid, the sardines, chovy, everything, they're just fattening up.
Danny, I still get to the point where now we talk about 40, some guys were talking about, we got 40 to 50 pound bluefin around right now, as if they're kind of small. And boy, you go back to our youth.
We would have given
and-
our left arm for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now that's just like, I mean, it's an absolutely phenomenal bite.
But I'll bring you back to reality. Think about what your processing bill would be with a 500-pound fish.
Oh,
So think about that. Can you give it away to all your friends?
It would be a grand.
Yeah,
About.
exactly.
Be $1,000.
Yeah, so be careful what you wish for sometimes,
Hey, you might want to take that one home and invite somebody over to help.
Yeah.
Who cares if you waste some meat because you're not the best at processing? But yeah, you're right, man. That would be a little expensive, wouldn't it?
That would.
Man, oh man. But the fact that we have this kind of fishing around here is absolutely phenomenal. It's the kind of stuff you would read about as a kid, or you'd read about Zane Grey, you'd read about Avalon and back in
right.
the late 1800s.
That's right. They
and
were
you'd
here
say,
at one time.
Man,
Right.
what a shame. I mean, that's gone. We'll never see that again.
And now it could very well happen. Yeah.
It's happening, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I mentioned that East Coast fish also. They don't have, on the East Coast, they get some big fish, but they don't have trips where you come home with 100 bluefin tuna like we do.
No.
We gotta be
We've been spoiled. over
the
the years.
envy of the sport fish worldwide.
Absolutely.
This is as good as it gets.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you think about some of the methodology that came out back in the Zane Great Ace, with the kite fishing and everything, we think that, going down to Clipperton, places like that where you're flying the kites, or Puerto Vallarta or whatever, but it all started here in the channel, for bluefin, and the big ones.
Yeah.
So, it's just come full circle. It's just taking a little time to get back around.
Yeah, for sure. Really, really exciting stuff, man. And there's just, you add to it the white sea bass fight we've got going on, the halibut fishing we've got going on. I guess if you were going to say, I guess some fisheries that aren't as good, I don't know why. It could be oceanography, it could be whatever, but our sand bass bite is not as good as it used to be. Our barracuda bite is not as good as it used to be. But that could be cyclical and
Absolutely.
Right? Do you believe it is?
I think everything cycles.
Yeah.
I think everything cycles.
So it wouldn't surprise you to see migratory clouds of sand bass like we used to see on Huntington show
It was
up this
crazy.
year
We-
or
we'd-
some
we'd-
other year.
We would track them all the way from Mexico,
Yeah.
and clouds, literally clouds.
That's the way to
And they'd
say it, right?
Get up to the Channel Islands, and then, they would do their deal and head south again.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I remember being on the Ensenada Clipper. Anthony's familiar with that boat now because we did a little segment on it while we were in Mexico. And other boats up here even. But I remember going in the stern of the Ensenada Clipper and looking down and seeing sand bass just going like this, and you drop a bait down and kind of, oh, no, I don't want that one. You let a little bigger one eat it.
Yeah.
It was
Oh, yeah.
crazy,
No,
man.
it's
It's like a
crazy.
trout pond.
It is.
I hope we can get back to those days, man. That would be really phenomenal.
Well, and that's a phenomenal fish to take kids out and get a lot of novices going. Great fish.
Oh, yeah.
For them to start on.
Yeah, and I think
That'll
they're
get 'em
good.
hooked.
They're good eating too.
Yeah, they fillet them out, and absolutely.
Good stuff. IFHAC. Why do you think more people don't process their own fish?
It's a lot of work.
That's what it is,
It's a lot
right?
of work, But if you got a vacuum pack machine, a good knife, and a board, and if you learned how to cut them, like perfect fish to practice on is like a sand bass or a calico,
Yeah.
right? Because it's a straight cut to the bone, fillet it out, flip it. You don't take this, leave the skin on, and then you just peel the carcass back, and then you put, the skin side down, and you run the knife. We could actually show them one day.
Yeah, we should, right?
Yeah. Better, we'll just go to the sushi bar. We'll go see Andy.
Hey, we got to
We'll
do
get a-
that. We got to
we'll get
drag
a
this
dinner
guy
out.
along,
Oh,
man.
he
He'd
would have
love
a
it.
blast.
He would
So
really love that.
we'll take some fish over to Andy and have him show, that's a show in itself.
That's
Oh,
an
my God.
entire show. Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
We definitely got to do
Yeah.
that. The other thing with fish processing, the guys that do it, I know it's expensive. They do a really good job.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, it's good for a year and you're probably longer.
And guess what? You're tired off a trip.
Yep.
Come home. You got ice chests full of fishing. We used to sit there and cut.
Yeah.
Hours and hours.
Oh,
and hours.
yeah.
No more.
Right.
Thank goodness.
Right.
Thank goodness.
Right. All right. Patrick says they catch 700 to 900 pound bluefin tuna in Japan regularly, and they're the same Pacific bluefin. Absolutely, Patrick.
Yep.
Thanks for
Yep.
commenting on that. Michael Burke. Hey, Michael, good to see you as always, man. You're always here with Friedman Adventures. Hit that like button, everybody. We really appreciate that. With you two youngsters, he said.
Who?
Me and you, we're youngsters, man. I like Michael. He's right. Let's go with it, Danny. We're definitely going to go with that one. Patrick says, going to have to bring back the cannery fishing processors again, where you used to be able to trade in your albacore for canned fish. It was like turn in 100 and give them back 40 pounds or something like that.
Oh, the cans.
Yeah. That
it
always
it
seemed
used
like
to be
kind of a jip,
A
didn't
can
it?
for a pound, I think it was.
Is that what it
at one
was?
time, yeah.
Well, that's not too bad, is it?
No.
20-pound fish, you get 20 cans?
Yeah, and you pay. I forgot what the fee was, but it was.
Yeah, you paid a little bit, nominal fee.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just love fresh albacore. And even in those days where it sat in a gunny sack all day and a guy,
Right, exactly. And now that you got to remember the quality.
RSW?
So RSWs, because people are eating and playing around with sushi and all kinds of other, upper end dishes now. So that's a big part of it. I mean, and we probably should do a show on that. We'll go over to Andy's and process and show them how to do
it's time to
different
do
fish.
that again.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Plus we get our sushi board.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd go nuts.
That's so good. It's really, really good. And Patrick says he misses being able to trade for cans. Ace, hi, I agree. In the 90s, there were so many sand bass, you could smell them. He's right. Same thing with barracuda. Eddie McEwen told me he could smell albacore before he get a bite.
Oh, boy.
I mean, barracuda for sure. Sam De La Torre. Yeah. Of course, we have Island. We'll be at Island Fishing Tqckle at 6 tonight. Sam, same thing, man. He said he's been on trips where you could smell the barracuda.
Oh, boy, could you ever. And you get that slime in your clothes and you get to take it home with you.
Yeah, no kidding.
And you don't want to wash it with you don't want to wash it with any other clothes.
When I was a kid, my mom fish clothes. She called them fish clothes. It made her want to puke, you know. Yep. Give me your fish clothes. I'll clean them up. Really brutal stuff. What smells worse, a barracuda or a blue shark?
Well, you got pneumonia on the blue shark.
Yeah,
the barracuda slime. Oh boy,
I know, right?
That's a tough one.
It really is. Ace high, yeah, man. It was incredible how many sand bass there were. I mean, I remember being on some of these twilight trips where you'd look up off the bow and you could see a shiner of them, man. They were like on the surface, clouds of them.
Yeah,
it was amazing, the fishery in those days. Yep. And some people attribute, do you think the Humboldt squid had anything at all to do with that?
It could be. I kind of doubt it, but
I do too.
It could have been. Yeah,
I know a lot of people.
I think a lot of this stuff just cycles, Phil. Mother Nature takes its course.
Yeah,
I think throughout time and hopefully adjusts back because it is a great fish to start kids on and everything else in the summertime. You take them half-day fishing, you get them initiated on the half-day boats and stuff like that, and get them fired up because it's a very simple fish to catch and safe. It's sinker and a split shot, so you're not flinging iron all over the place.
Yeah.
So, no, it's a great starter fish. It
yes.
Really is. And it puts out nice little fillets for people to take home, too.
Yep. Ace high, you're the man with that great memory. Thank you so much. Michael Burke, hey Phil, any fish reports from Cedros Island by chance driving down that way in 2 weeks? You lucky guy, Michael. You got to shoot some photos or video for me when you're down there. I have not checked with my sources on there, but I got a whole bunch of them, and I will do that. I don't know that I'll get a chance to do it before tomorrow's morning briefing, but I'll certainly try to send out a few texts and on my way over to Island Fishing Tqckle for Tackle Shop Confessions and get you some current info on that, Michael. It's time for me to add that to the morning briefing. I appreciate that. That's a good reminder for me. Matthew Martin, hello, guys. Would Tackle Shop frozen squid be a waste of time for white sea bass?
No, you always take it. You always have it. You got to have ammo, and you can't always make the live stuff. So, fresh dead. I prefer fishing fresh dead, to be honest with you, than live, because the cartilage hardens up. When you put the hook in the tip, it stays on even better.
Yeah.
But live, come on, if fish is live is live,
Yeah, I think they'd end up. I mean, normally you'd say
they're not that finicky.
Matthew, but a lot of times those things are just like big vacuum cleaners. They're going through the squid beds and just sucking up baits. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Isaac says the hard part is getting rid of fish carcasses, processing yourself. Neighbors love you, LOL. Yeah, man, they're good if you have a garden.
Yeah,
man.
you have a garden.
Yeah, right?
Absolutely.
Nothing makes your tomatoes and everything grow better than that. Reggie Wynn, one of the most generous guys that I've ever seen. He sent Paulina $20 to go in the casino for her first time in a casino in Mexico. So that was really cool.
Oh, awesome.
Thanks for putting up the Scott Buchert fathead poster. I needed this laugh today. Well, Reggie, I have to turn my attention to Antonio Anthony, I didn't even see it. Danny pointed at it and saw. So Anthony had a little surprise for me too here. We love Scott, and he already lectured me today. Do not put the shot up. So Anthony heard that, and of course, the first thing Anthony did was put it up. So that's why we love Anthony so much around here. Good stuff. Thank you for recognizing his genius, Reggie. Appreciate it. All right, IFAC. I return my carcasses to the ocean. Love to see the look on the kids' face who are fishing in the lagoon when I drop giant tuna heads from the bridge. Yeah, because it's going to go back into the environment. Something's going to feed on it. That's good stuff. And you're so right about, kids and them seeing those kinds of things. I mean, part of our talk yesterday, Philip and I, he just kept saying, I can't wait for Bo, the grandchild, to get a little older so we can start fishing, And,
Oh, yeah.
that's just part of the whole thing. And, when you and I kick out of here, we're gone. Every time your kids take one of our grandkids fishing, they're going to think about you and me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's a beautiful thing. Patrick Hornjack says the sand bass never rebounded after the big giant squid year back instead of 90 or early 2000, whenever we had that bad year of giant squid. So I will only say that correlation does not equal causation. I can see what you're saying there. Maybe it was. It could be, Patrick. Could have been a million other types of factors involved in there during that time. It could have been there was an oceanographical change at that time. And the cycle started. But yeah, I got it. There definitely is some correlation there between that. So yes, we got you. IFAC. I like this guy. I think we understand very little about our fisheries. That's a great point, Patrick Hornjack. There you go.
That is a good thing. Because, if we knew exactly, we'd probably wipe them out. That's how dumb we are as humans, And that's no joke. If there's money involved, the guys will tap it till
Michael Limon. Here's a guy that's tapping all the fish in the harbor. Look at that big old macaroni. Beautiful. Michael. I forgot to mention your fishing. The over-under on Michael now goes to 3. Will he catch more than 3 fish or less than 3 fish?
Kind of all time.
What time is it right now, by the way? Are we running out of time?
10 more minutes.
That's it?
Ooh.
Boy, you're running through this show too
Michael,
fast.
run, Mike.
A constant stream of questions coming in for the Danny Kadota Show. And lots of people watching. Please hit that like button. I hate it when the show ends and Danny breaks into tears. It's just an awful sight, let me tell you.
It is.
All right, yes, I agree. Let's see, Patrick Hornjack, what a blast. Half-day trips, pulling on strong squid. It was fun pulling on those things. Oh,
the giants?
They were fun.
Oh, yeah.
Weren't they?
Yeah.
They were bitching.
How many people do you soak?
My God.
You get
can
really
aim 'em
good.
at people.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Totally.
Or you can grab the
time.
one tentacle and lift it, and it'll shoot.
Yes.
Perfect.
Dude, hey, you'll laugh at this. I saw Dipley get unloaded, and it didn't unload water. It freaking unloaded ink. And he had dark sunglasses on, and he took them off, and there were just 2 white. It was the funniest.
Dipley? Oh, my God, that's hilarious.
It was the best, man.
That's hilarious.
I've never forgotten that. That was so
God.
funny. Those freaking things pull hard.
Yeah, they do. They're heavy.
Because they're big, man. They're 40 pounds
surge,
bigger.
Look at that power they have when they. Yeah.
I mean,
they're huge.
If they did, in fact, wipe out the sand bass fishery, I guess they kind of suck for that. But, man, they are fun to catch, and it's calamari. It's good eating.
Yeah, a lot of people would stake them out.
Yeah. Really good.
Bread them and pound them. And
good stuff, man. I'm telling you. Yeah, you're right, Patrick. That was a lot of fun. Glenn Del Mendo, who's going fishing with us on Friday. He's bringing Matt from Island Fishing Tqckle. Glenn, looking forward to seeing you. He says, hi, Phil and Danny. Great to hear from you guys. It's great to hear from Wicked Tackle Box. Wicked Tackle Box, a great product. Glenn Del Mendo. Michael Limon is
Man, you're on
surging
fire.
up.
Woo. He's on fire.
A baby sand bass. The squid didn't get them all.
Oh my God!
There's one 3-inch
Oh, you
sand
know what,
bass
you just
left here
mentioned something.
in
You
Los
just-
Angeles.
Just reminded me. Wednesday, I've got to do a deal on bucket list fishing for
Yeah.
the South Bay Angling
Oh
Club.
yeah, I saw you were
Got
gonna.
at House Hut.
Yeah.
I think 7 o'clock or something like that. So anybody interested on travel fishing
Yeah.
around the world, I'm going to be doing bucket list fishing trips and stuff like that
This Wednesday?
this Wednesday at House
Hey.
Hut. And it's
He's speaking at Hoff's Hut on Wednesday night. Are we doing anything? No, Torrance.
no right over Torrance, right over
Yeah.
Torrance in South Bay.
We'll go over there. We'll come.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Well, sure. We'll come over and shoot a video, man.
Yeah.
The
Perfect.
Danny Kadota Show twice
Perfect.
this week.
Now I got to bring pictures.
Yeah, you know. You better make
got
this
it.
good.
All right.
Hey, Wednesday night, Hoff's Hut, Torrance, California. I think
it's
7 to start.
7 o'clock. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could check on Facebook. Yeah, they'll have it.
Danny's going to be there, and I'm pretty sure Anthony and I are going to be there because Ruth and I, my wife, are spending some time tomorrow, so I don't have to worry about her. Oh, not that I would worry about her. I would cherish. In fact, sweetheart, oh, she didn't speak English. But, sweetheart, if you did speak English, if you wanted to spend both Tuesday and Wednesday, I would forego the Danny Kadota Show.
There you go.
Because I would much rather spend all of my time with you, mi amor. Te amo por
What a
siempre.
kiss ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, quick tip.
She didn't understand anything. So we'll be there on Wednesday. We're going to be there.
Oh man, he laid it on pretty thick, huh? You know he's doing that to
I'm
make us
trying,
look
man.
bad,
I'm
you know?
trying. Mike Krinkovich, the cranker. He's around here somewhere. Cranker? Oh, there he is. No tuna, no chinga, or no Scott, no cranker. Woo! We got to get like a lovey-dovey kind of another head up there with Scott and the cranker. I think they've got a secret romance going on. Just call me Braggs, Phil. All right, Braggs, I can do that. That's an easy one. You have added so much to the show here this evening. Really, really appreciate it. Glenn Del Mando, way too many questions tonight. And by that, I mean, this is great. All the participation from all of you out there. It's great. Looking forward to fishing with you. Guys, this Friday in the El Patron. Phil, you letting Danny and Anthony join for the fun on the trip on Friday? Absolutely not, Glenn. I would never do that. Anthony's going. Danny can join us if he likes, but I think Danny's standards are a little too high to go fishing with somebody like me. Isaac says, great show. Speaking of a guy with low standards, obviously. Mike Krinkovich, mackerel was on Friedman line and blacktail hooks. That's what Paulina said. Reggie Wynn, is Dipley still alive? John's died about, Reggie, if I had to guess when it was, about 8 years ago, I think John passed away. So he is no longer with us, but man, he was a funny guy. I worked for him on, what did I work for him? Redondo Special, the Queen of the Sea.
Queen of the Sea.
He was running the Grande for a while. We'd fish Catalina. And,
It was quite a sight just watching him trying to climb up that ladder and go up that.
oh my God. That was just brutal. So I'll give you a Dipley story. I won't tell you the guy. He had a guy on the wheel one night, and it was on the Grande, and I was on a stretch, so I was trying to get some sleep. Usually I would go out on the top, sleep in a life boat, because you can see the star. But I was inside that night, and the guy that was on the wheel had you like to drink, let's put it that way. And Dipley wakes up for whatever reason, and we are going to hit the new Hustler too.
Oh, geez.
We are like, I'm going to say 10
George would have loved
George
that.
Mio. 10 feet from rolling up his stern. We're going faster, and we're rolling up. And Craig is, the guy is completely passed out, and Dipley goes, Craig, because I won't use his last name, what are you doing? And he goes, oh, what's wrong, John? I didn't think I was that close. And he pulled him back and hit it hard over.
Oh, jeez.
And he goes, I wasn't that close. He goes, when you can read captain's quarters, keep out, you're too close. Oh, my God.
Man.
Oh, yeah, I hope Craig's not around anymore.
Oh, jeez. I can remember Dipley. The year was, I think it was 84 when we got the big Albies right in the channel.
Oh, yeah.
So I went out, and 4 of us went, and it was Frank Redlew's boat. This is Mike's dad, but he has he built this boat himself. And
Yeah.
It was absolutely one of the most beautiful boats and fast. So, here I'm coming, we're back from San Diego. This is the fall, right?
Yeah.
And I see a spot of fish. And I had Freddie Ichikawa, who's one of my also bass fishing buddies, Pat Riley. We had some great fishermen, Frank. And I hit it like I hit the throttles like I was on the Mustang, where push it all the way up, 10 knots. I hit that thing, and I'm looking at the school of fish, and I go,
Oh.
Where'd the guys go? They were all three of them. Almost went over there, back by the engine,
yeah.
And I had to pull it back, because it goes from 0 to 50-something miles an hour. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, it'll flick you right out of there, man.
But, we slid on that spot, and we all four of us hung those big albies. I didn't hang an albie. I think I hooked the big eye, because mine never stopped. It just kept walking,
Although those
But we had
albies
all
were
those big ones.
huge, man.
They were huge. Yeah, they were all over 50.
Yep.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. And then Dipley, that's the one he saw. We were stopped, but he didn't know it was us. And he pulls up, and I mean, close enough where the bow, Queen of the Seas, right here. And we look up, and he sees Frank Redlew and Freddie and myself. And, and all of a sudden, here's this prop wash going back in reverse. They gave him a look. Yeah.
Ace High, I'm ashamed. I'm just finding your podcast now. You guys are absolute favorites, and Pauline is absolutely wonderful. Yes, I subscribe. You're ashamed, Ace High, and we are thrilled to welcome you to the Friedman Adventures and the Kadota family. Thank you so much, man. That means the world to us. And Paulina's going to be up here pretty soon. She's great. She's a lot of fun. She's got a great sense of humor. And we not only like fishing with her, but like going to the supermarket and doing all that stuff in Mexico is really a lot of fun with her. Glenn Del Mendo, yes, see you, Danny, at Hoff's Hut. He's going to be there.
Sounds good, guys.
Great. Reggie Wynn, his sister, John Dipley's sister, taught at my high school, and I had the opportunity to fish on the Grande back in the day due to getting good grades because of him. There you go, man. All these connections. Bragg says, glad to be here. We're glad to have you. David Petroy. Danny, bring the video. You caught a yellowfin tuna on a fly rod.
Oh, that was on the, I bring
Wasn't
it.
that
We can
a
play
Dan Hernandez thing?
No,
or-
it was, I did one on his show, but I also did one it was called, not Fishing the West, The Spanish Fly with Jose Wahebe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was a cool
Jose
guy.
Wahebe, yeah.
He passed, or he
He
had
passed away.
an airplane
Plane
crash, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it stalled, went straight up and came back down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. We'll see if we can make that happen.
Yeah.
Paul Miller just came in from putting a rod rack in my van. Way to go, Paul. Thanks for being here, my friend. Tackle Shop Confessions live at 6 p.m. tonight, everybody. Michael Krinkervici. Cranker. Dipley ran the boat at Hermosa Pier, too. I didn't know that. Crazy. Paul Miller should be in your area at the beginning of June. Paul, we'll look forward to it. Oh, from Florida, that's right. Yeah, look us up, Paul, and I think I've given you my phone number. If not, just let me know. And 657-227-6459. You can go back and listen to it once this is archived. I know you probably didn't have a pen. Gabriel de la Trinidad. Good afternoon, guys. I saw the weather forecast for the weekend, and it looks like it's going to be windy. It's windy right now, Gabriel. Yeah, I'm going on the El Patron on Saturday. Hey, we'll be out there on Friday, right ahead of you. We'll round them up for you, my friend, and hopefully that weather lays down. It looked like that weather's going to be offshore pretty much, but hopefully you'll be able to get that trip in. Bragg says, thank God for radar, guard zones, and dangerous target alerts. That is for sure. What mile radius do you recommend for guard zones on a radar?
How big is your boat? Because, usually the height that your radar antenna is will give you that distance. And if you're a small boat, it doesn't make sense to have a 30, 40 mile range type radar, because you're not going to get, with the height, you're not going to get the curvature of the earth is going to mess things up. So, it a lot of times corresponds to the height of your wheelhouse. You need that clearance to get, that extra, and especially if you're doing this.
Yeah.
So that makes it really tough. On a flat day, it helps.
Yes.
It helps.
Yes. All right, folks. I think we've got to say goodbye because we got to get over and do another live show. Danny,
Philip, always fun.
that was a lot of fun today, man.
You got it.
Thank you
people.
all.
Thank you for tuning in.
For the
guys.
great questions
Absolutely.
for Danny Kadota Scott Buchert, and yours truly. Thanks for being here. Hit that like button. Share this with a friend if you don't mind. And tune back in at 6 tonight for Tackle Shop Confessions. Thank you so much, Braggs and everybody, for being here.
ya.
We'll see you soon. Nice show, Dave.